Please listen carefully.
Well, I really hope that now you can hear me louder and clearer.
I believe it sounds a lot better now, actually.
Hi, this is Morten Max, and welcome to the very first recording of the Retail Conversations podcast. So, this is a podcast concept. Well, these next few minutes of this first episode serves as a quick insight into the podcast concept itself, a little teaser into what you can expect from the future conversations lined up, and also a little bit of reasoning behind why has this podcast come to life now. As a daily user and listener of different podcasts myself, it seems like podcasts are exploding in popularity these days, and I'm simply too curious a human being not to try this endeavor myself. It is my background and my lifelong passion for retail and people that is actually making me enter this new world of making a podcast. I've been working in retail since I was 14 years old. I have never tried anything else, and throughout the many years since then, I have been working in different roles with different responsibilities, primarily here in Denmark. But I have also worked with companies around the world, located in more than 50 countries. So yes, I am actually making this podcast to make sure I keep my shelf sharp, that I am always constantly challenging my understanding and experience with retail and in retail, so that I can continue to develop and perform in my own personal professional career. Purely egocentric, right? Yet, at the same time, I also have a strong belief in co-creation, in knowledge sharing, and in helping others. And I believe we as retailers need to step up our game and start inspiring each other a lot more than we do today. So also for that reason, the podcast has come to life. So whoever you are and wherever you are located in retail, I will be glad whenever a future episode or a part of one will be valuable and inspirational to you and those you work with. I will do my utmost to be the filter for simplicity in these future conversations, and I'll be taking whatever role I find relevant in the conversations. So you might explore me and listen to me being the skeptic, being the hyper-positive, being a challenger or an inspirator, or any other relevant perspective in these retail conversations we're going to have. So getting to the concept of the Retail Conversations podcast. Well, if I have to be completely honest, the purpose and the core of this concept is that I would love to create a freely accessible source of information. And I would also really much love to create an inspiration channel for retailers around the world, where the focus will be around the physical store, but I really wanted to have a radius as big as the industry itself. The podcast will provide people with valuable content, industry insight, practical knowledge, and also solutions brought by people with the willingness to share and discuss their experiences, their ideas, and their expertise. The format of the podcast will take form of a point of view conversation in which ideas and solutions will be shared, discussed, and created. Therefore, our different conversations will include expert opinion on different challenges, on different business opportunities that we as retailers or retail employees might face or have faced during our career. Thus actually creating our main target group, anyone working in retail really. As I have complete ownership of this podcast concept myself, of course I will be experimenting with the format throughout the future conversations, striving to find the best version it can become, the best version that fits the purpose I want this to have. I will give the individuals whom I will be lucky enough to have on the podcast, I will give them complete ownership of the content we record. They can edit whatever parts they want, and if they decline the episode to see the light of day, actually, I will respect their opinion. I don't, of course, expect this to happen, but it's nice to know either way. I do aim at reaching retail globally with this podcast, but I will be doing some conversations in Danish. This, of course, will be a part of testing the format here, but it will also, of course, be based on the individual's preference, whom I will be having the conversation with, naturally. We already have some very interesting conversations lined up for you. So just to name a few, we will soon be speaking to Gary Wise, who is currently a senior manager at Macy's. He has more than 20 years of working in learning and development. So I'm looking very much forward to talking to him about people and how to train people in retail. We also have an upcoming conversation with Louise Byk-Kongsholm. And Louise is the CEO of what is called the Scandinavian Trend Institute, PEG Group. And she's also a strategic consultant and a trend researcher. Very much interested in hearing her views on retail and the future of that. We will also be having a conversation with Bård Kvam, who is the Global Retail Director of Stokke. Bård is a former colleague of mine, and he has more than 20 years of experience working in retail and with retail brands. And he has a very interesting journey at the moment with the Stokke company. I'm looking very much forward to that conversation as well. And last but not least, I also want to mention we will have a conversation with Heidi Svane Petersen, who in her own words is a networking ninja and a creative concept developer who strives and is a specialist in looking at business models and finding and locating new business opportunities and also integrating the tech elements in this. That's going to be very interesting as well. So without prolonging this introduction episode, I look very much forward to get started and launching some retail conversations for myself and also for those of you who will find it interesting to listen to. We will of course be more than glad to receive comments and feedback from you to help us navigate in this new format for us. And let's get going.